Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. What is going on? As you may know, Shakur Stevenson missed weight yesterday during his weigh-ins versus Robson Conceicao. Shakur Stevenson came in a pound point six over the weight limit at 130 and was stripped of his WBC and WBO title. Shakur Stevenson, you know, obviously took to Twitter and said, sorry, said Shakur Stevenson was a 1.6 pounds over the junior lightweight limit and has lost his world titles on the scale. Robson Conceicao is eligible to win the titles. If Stevenson wins, the titles will become vacant. Right now, Shakur Stevenson, obviously, he's a young man. He's only 25 years old, and he's putting his body, like most fighters. They come in and they're putting their bodies on the line, to make this weight cut. I feel like, obviously a 25-year-old with a growing body, has to move gradually. We've seen the cases like Teofimo Lopez, where Teofimo Lopez has been at the 135 division for over 6 years, and obviously had a medical issue in his last fight. I mean, against George Kambosos. You know, um, this is a problem in boxing, to be honest. Then you also have the cases of Devin Haney, where they're cutting so much and then they rehydrate to 24 pounds, right? This is a problem in boxing. Why why are fighters not moving gradually? That's what I'm not understanding. Why aren't you moving gradually? Um, it's obvious that fighters need to stop being these weight bullies in these weight classes just because you want to keep fighting there and you feel like the competition is easier there. You know what I'm saying? Now, in the case of Shakur Stevenson, obviously he lost his belts on the scales, but what does that mean? Now he'll be fighting at 135. It makes the division at 135 very much interesting. Again, right? Um, Devin Haney might be moving up to 140. So we still got the 135 division is going to still be in a very explosive division, especially when Shakur Stevenson gets up there. I think that's going to be a great um, a division to watch out for, right? Shakur Stevenson, obviously, I don't think that he's going to last at 135 as much either, though. I think that Shakur Stevenson is going to probably be on 140 very soon, very, very soon. But obviously, coming in a pound, point 0.6 over the weight limit, it shows signs of being undisciplined. Um, as we saw with George Kambosos Jr., who came in over like what, a pound or and then made up the weight later on. But Shakur Stevenson has been stripped of his WBC and WBO titles. Robson obviously could still win them, but if Shakur Stevenson wants to win, the belts will be vacated. So obviously Shakur Stevenson will definitely be going up to 135. No, no questions about that. Um, but it is what it is. It just 30. You know, anything trying to rehydrate and stuff for tonight's fight. Um, you just never know. But hopefully, God forbid that anything happens. You know what I'm saying? That he gets this fight over with and he moves up to 135 and continues on with his career. Um, but The 135-pound division is gonna be one of those divisions where it's just heating up again. You know what I'm saying? We saw it when Teofimo Lopez was at that division where it was a really good division. You still have Lomachenko in that division, which was a fight that could be made for Shakur Stevenson, of course. Um, you also have Devin Haney, but Devin Haney probably only has like one or two fights left. Javante Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. Then you also have guys like Jojo Diaz still there, Isaac Cruz, um, and the list goes on. You also have Brody Romero. So the list goes on, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's a problem in boxing with fighters that aren't moving up with their bodies, right? They're trying to cut so much weight. 25-year-olds shouldn't be at one weight division for over 6 years. Obviously your body's growing, especially when you see in the ring. Shakur Stevenson is not the smallest dude inside of that ring. He's a pretty big dude. So I think that fighters just need to fight where they're supposed to, man. Move up gradually and avoid any health issues, any health risks. Avoid that at all costs. There's no reason why you should be killing yourself to make a division. You know what I'm saying? If you're killing yourself to make a division, then obviously you shouldn't be fighting at that division. And I understand that body types and body structures also play into that. And but you got guys like Jason Rosario who are about to pass out um, because they're trying to cut so much weight, trying to get down that they're about to pass out during the weigh-ins, or after the weigh-ins, right? You have guys that just they don't cut well. So I think that it's starting to become a problem in boxing, just so that you can have a advantage. There's no reason for you to come in 20 pounds over the weight limit, coming in at 160 to 170 pounds. Um, Come to fight night. It just doesn't make any type of sense. It's an advantage for fighters. Let's be honest. It's an advantage. You coming in way heavier. You're the bigger fighter, and these guys be smaller. You know what I'm saying? And they're fighting at their acclimated weight, but that's what a weight bully is. You know what I'm saying? You're taking advantage of smaller guys. So this needs to stop in boxing. It needs to stop. Fight at your fight at the weight that your body is starting to move and shift into. Right, you're a young man, uh, growing. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. I mean, I get it. The competition might not be as tough as the division on top, but I mean, there's no reason for you to be fighting these smaller dudes. You know what I'm saying? Fight with dudes that are around the same weight class as you, and and just move up gradually. But it's really starting to be a problem. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's starting to be a problem. 1.6 pounds over the weight limit is, obviously that's crazy, right? That's a lot. You couldn't cut that 1 pound. That's a lot, right? But I'm sure that Shakur Stevenson already knew that he wasn't making that weight. I mean, yeah, he kind of didn't. He really didn't even look that surprised, to be honest, right? He didn't even look that surprised, to be honest. You know, I mean, you're a pound point six over. There's no way you didn't know that you weren't making that weight, because obviously you're scaling yourself, trying to cut down to that weight, especially before you go and weigh in. But obviously he might have had 2 pounds over. You know, he might have been surprised. It might probably have been like 2 3 pounds, and he probably went to the sauna, and he can only cut that down to that 1.6. So you know, that's just how it goes, though. You know what I'm saying? Remember Jojo Diaz? Jojo Diaz lost a belt on the CL because he was fighting at the 130-pound division, and he um, couldn't cut down, right, during COVID. So he had lost his belt on the scale, and so forth and so on. It goes on, right? David Benavidez. So many, so much, right? Um, you know, and it just shows the discipline of fighters when they miss weight and stuff like that. Like the case of George Kambosos Jr. in his home country, and he comes in and he goes and I think he was 2 pounds over. I can't even recall, but I think he was 2 pounds over, even worse. It just shows that your lack of interest and your lack of discipline um, to the fans, right? But it is what it is, though, man. I think that he's still gonna be fighting at 135, and I think that's gonna be it's gonna get interesting at 135. So I can't wait to see it against Robson Conceição. Obviously, I expect him to beat Robson Conceição. Conceição is a really good fighter, but I just feel like Shakur Stevenson should be able to get Robson Conceição. To be honest, um, they both have a similar fighting style, right? It's just gonna come down to who has the better, who's more fundamentally sound, And I think that in that division, I think that um, Shakur Stevenson is definitely gonna be the victor tonight over Robson Conceição. Should be a good fight, very interesting fight. But you can't count out a guy like Robson Conceição, also an Olympian, just like Shakur Stevenson. Um, you can't count them out. This is gonna be a pretty good fight. I hope it's not a boring fight because obviously, like I said, they both have style come into contact and fight each other. It doesn't make for a great showing because both fighters are very cautious inside of the ring and don't really want to trade and don't want to exchange much. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna probably be a chess match, but I'm hoping that these guys come out and they give the fans a good showing. It's gonna be on ESPN, I believe, for free. So I wouldn't expect nothing else. You know, uh, it should be a good fight for both fighters, but. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. Follow me on Instagram at P4P Boxing Real News, and we out. Peace.